Commanders fans, and happy Thursday, happy Friday Eve. I just wanted to go over a couple of quotes and just a small Jayden Daniels update. If anybody was looking forward to him practicing today, he did not. Also, Cliff, I'm trying to pull up what he said. He said, Jayden Daniels is just preparing mentally while Marcus gets the reps physically. So Jayden is probably doing the VR as much as he can, but like I said before, I highly, highly doubt he's going to play. Ian Rappaport said that his status remains in doubt or is in doubt, and that's what Ian Rappaport said on Monday. And honestly, just looking at the timing and it being a knee sprain, which it could he could play. You never know. The whole rib thing is a different injury between your ribs. Compare your ribs to your knee, especially when he's a mobile dual threat quarterback that scrambles a lot. Scrambled the most in the NFL last year, and I think for quarterback hits, he took the most per amount of times. I just don't think he's going to play this week. I think maybe next week, but I think he takes the week off. And I don't want to just dismiss the Raiders and be like, oh, this is the week where you can take off. We haven't played well enough to the point where we can say that. And, it's only been one game where we looked bad. We didn't look great the Giants game. We still blew them out. Or should have blown them out, or really controlled and pulled the belt out on the Giants. But I think it's trending towards Marcus Mariota playing on Sunday. And Jayden didn't do the presser on Wednesday. I think when he did get hurt after the Panthers game that Wednesday, I really remember him doing the Wednesday presser after practice right before the Bears game. I think he definitely did that. He just didn't really answer any questions. He answered the questions, but he didn't give any answers. He answered the questions about his ribs without answering them, basically, or without giving a real answer. He didn't disclose the injury. And a lot of people are saying is it a PCL sprain? Is it an MCL sprain? There's a lot of things that could happen, but they're not being specific, which they don't have to. It's gamesmanship, so I get it. And they may not announce who's going to start until Sunday morning. And I think last year against the Bears, they didn't announce whether Jayden was going to start until Sunday morning either. And then that Saturday, he did a lot of moving around. And Dan Quinn, he was he called him a tough son of a gun or something like that. Or yeah, he just gave him a lot of compliments about how tough he is. So that's the update on Jayden. It's not. I highly, like I said, highly doubt he's going to play. So. And they haven't said whether he has a brace on or anything like that. I know that's something interesting, him playing with a bulky knee brace. I definitely don't want to see that. If he's playing with a bulky knee brace on, then he should definitely sit out, in my opinion. As we know how RG3, like I said, I don't want to compare to RG3, but we know how ugly it got when RG3 was wearing that brace. All right, so let's move on to the injury report. Some other guys. John Bates was on the side field working with the trainer. He's not going to play. But that is good to see him on the side field at least working out. We didn't hear that about Noah Brown, but Dan Quinn did say that yesterday he feels a little bit better, or he's more encouraged about Noah Brown. But knowing Noah Brown from the past, he's not going to play. But looking at the injury report from yesterday, John Bates DNP, Noah Brown DNP, Jayden Daniels DNP, Zach Ertz DNP rest, Von Miller DNP rest, Laramie Tunsil rest DNP, Trey Amos shoulder limited. Brandon Coleman limited with a shoulder injury, and then Jeremy McNichols with a hamstring injury limited. Colson Yankoff hip injury limited. If you look at the Raiders side, the biggest name on that list is Brock Bowers, and he's going to play. He was limited with a knee injury. Jeremy Chin, former Commander, pectoral injury limited, and Jackson Powers Johnson, who has struggled this year. The Raiders' whole offensive line has struggled through the first two games, and this could be a get-right game for our defense. This could be a get-right game just in general for our offense and for the whole team. Their offensive line has really, really struggled. They struggled against the Patriots. Harold Landry had a good day against the Raiders. And then they struggled against the Chargers as well. They just have some guys that are just not good enough or are struggling in their offensive line. I think there's going to be some opportunities for it. Preston Smith does play. Hey, maybe he could wreak some havoc. Von Miller could have a breakout game. Dorrance Armstrong already had a sack. He can get another sack. We'll see. Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw can get back to the way they played against the Giants. That would be huge for us. That would be huge if they can play like they did against the Giants. That would be lovely. Johnny Newton, too. He got 5 pressures. So, once again, the trenches are going to be huge, as always. So let's get a quick word from today's sponsor, Sleeper, and then we'll get back into some guys, some free agents that I feel like we should definitely take a look at. We probably won't bring them in, but let's take a look at them. Shout out to Sleeper. Let's give a quick shout out to Sleeper. What's good, Commanders fans? Just wanted to give you guys a great deal with the promo code Oliver for Sleeper. Make sure you guys check out the Sleeper app. First time users, you get 100% deposit match up to $100 for your first time using Sleeper. Sleeper is a great fantasy app for all sports, especially the NFL, for more or less on player projections. You pick the more or less on the projections, like Terry McLaurin. Receptions, you can pick the more on that for 4.5 receptions on Sunday against the Giants. I'm taking more on that. And they also have great deals. Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, they have free squares, more than half a passer. They're going to step on the field and get that. So make sure you guys check out Sleeper. Also on Sleeper, you have a chance to 1,000 times your cash on daily fantasy football on Sleeper. Check it out. Terms and conditions apply. So the pick, like I said, I'm giving you for you guys on Sleeper is Terry McLaurin, more than 4.5 receptions, and then take the free square with Joe Burrow, more of a half a passing yard, which is just insane. It's just a great deal that they're giving. Free money, a free play that they're giving on Sleeper. Great deal. Terms and conditions apply on Sleeper. Like I said, first-time users, 100% deposit match up to $100. Click on the link down below in the description and use promo code Oliver. Let's get back to the video. Peace. Shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper. Once again, that was the prop for Terry McLaurin, more than 4.5 receptions. I would take that again this week. I really would. I would take that again this week against the Raiders. I know that didn't hit with the past 2 weeks, but this could, like I said, this could be the get-right game for Terry and the offense. I would love to see Jayden play because this is a golden opportunity for him. The Raiders, they struggle. Their secondary struggles. What's the guy's name I talked about in my previous video? Let me pull up their roster real quick. One of their corners is just like, he's really food. Like he's really food. Like they should target him with Debo, Jalen Lane, whoever, and get that matchup on him in the slot. Not Caillou Blue Kelly. It's where is that corner at? It's their nickel corner. Darnay Holmes. You can really go after him. Eric Stokes is mid. Caillou Blue Kelly, he's mid too. So they don't really have a lockdown corner. I know this sounded like last week, but they don't have a dominant like pass rush. Like the Raiders don't have a dominant pass rush like the Packers do. I get it. Max Crosby's a dog. Malcolm Kuntz is good, but they don't have a pass rush that's really going to get after it in like 3 seconds. They do at the same time. I get it. Max Crosby can do that, but they don't do it enough consistently like the Packers do. Is my point. You can really go after Darnay Holmes, Caillou Blue Kelly, Eric Stokes. Like you can really get after those guys. Darren Porter's solid. And Jeremy Chin in coverage too. Like you can target him too. I mean, he got cooked for us a lot last year. He had a good season, don't get me wrong. But there's definitely some deficiencies in their defense where you can definitely attack them. And that's why I really want to see Jayden. They play a lot of cover 3 as well. So that's why it is tough that Jayden most likely will be missing this game because he was inaccurate against the Giants. He was inaccurate again against the Packers. But he had a better game against the Giants, of course. But this game against the Raiders, I just really, really like the matchups with our receivers. I feel like our receivers can win one-on-one matchups, and they're not going to get clamped like they did against the Packers, against the Raiders secondary for sure. Jamal Adams, he's not good in coverage, but he had a good game against the Patriots to start off. But I think this would be a good opportunity for just a get-right game for us after that Packers loss. Kind of like how the Lions bounced back against the Bears. The Lions got blown out by the Packers, or not blown out, but dominated by the Packers. And they came back to their usual selves, similar to what I think we could do against the Raiders. So, all right, so let's talk about some free agent cornerback targets here real quick. I don't think we're going to bring any of these guys in. Like I said, Adam likes to bring in guys in the middle of the season, like your Kayvon Seymours of the world, your Bobby Prices, your we didn't sign Rashad what's his name? Adam Peters didn't sign Rashad Wild Goose, but you guys get the point, like kind of like practice squad type of guys. And John Jones being placed on injury reserve, I think there's 2 guys that they should target. Really no other than that. Like you look at the list. I like Mike Hilton though. He's a good slot corner. I do like him. I like him for depth. The Eagles brought him in for a workout. He's had a bunch of interceptions in his career. Has some sacks. Just a physical, tough tackler as well. Maybe him. Other guys on the list like Cam Dantzler, I wouldn't bring him in. And yeah, that's really it. Bobby Price is a free agent. Greg Stroman's a free agent, former Commander, former Skin. Kayvon Seymour's a free agent, but he's hurt. Shaq Griffin was just released. I would not bring those guys in. But the only 2 guys I would take a look at, Asante Samuel Jr. is a guy that I do like potentially in October. Now, he had a spinal fusion and has a follow-up CT scan in October to see if he can play in 2025. But I definitely would consider Asante Samuel Jr. We just need the depth and we worked out a corner too. I got to find who it was. But we worked out a corner the other day too. But I can't find their name. Let's see here. Where is it at? Yeah, I don't see it. But they worked out another corner. I can't remember. I can't find who it was, but they just worked somebody out. I don't know why I can't find it. It's crazy. But yes, Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore, I would take a look at him just as your fifth corner to replace John Jones for the 4 weeks that he's out. And then Kendall Fuller. I know they're both on the slower side. They're both elderly. We're the oldest team in the league, so we would add to that. But in the middle of the season, or your third week of the season, you're not going to find a young guy that can come in and play. You're going to wait until the draft. You're going to wait until the offseason to bring in a young guy that can help this roster, and that would be for next year. So I would definitely take a look at Stephon Gilmore. Now, you look at some of Stephon Gilmore's numbers now. Back in 2023 with Dallas, now it's odd because they could have brought him in last year too, but they chose not to. Dan Quinn and Joey Jr., for whatever reason, they had Stephon Gilmore. He had a good year with him. Like, he played really well against A.J. Brown. He forced a fumble on A.J. Brown. Had a couple pass breakups against A.J. Brown when Dallas played the Eagles. With the Vikings, he had an okay year, but it wasn't bad either. Like, 2023, Stephon Gilmore had a 71.2 PFF grade. Run defense grade was 72.9. Tackling was 60.5. His coverage grade was 69.3 as well, which is pretty solid, man. And he's a physical corner, man. He is. And I know he's not the same guy that he was before. Of course, when he was like All-Pro and Pro Bowler and all that stuff. He's 34, but he's been very durable. With the Vikings, he played 15 games. He got 1 interception last year. So he took the ball away at least once. We haven't even forced a turnover. I don't think we forced a turnover at all. 94.1 quarterback rating, which is the worst of his career last year. 61.9 completion percentage allowed, which was the worst of his second to worst of his career as well. But not bad. Missed tackle percentage 5.1, which is really good. He's a good tackler as well. So I would definitely take a look at Stephon Gilmore, bring him in. Nothing to lose, really. Not. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore has not been good. He's been a disappointment so far. And then same thing with Kendall Fuller. Nothing to lose too, man. Like last year, he had a decent PFF number, 62.4 coverage grade, 66.2 overall grade, which is solid. Not bad at all. He takes the ball away too. Like how many interceptions did he have last year? I don't think he had any interceptions. But when he was with us, he had 2, 3, 4. He had 2 pick sixes in 2022. And a veteran leadership. So I wouldn't mind bringing these guys in. We worked out freaking Kyle Fuller last year, for crying out loud. The other brother that didn't do anything since like 2020. So I just don't think it would hurt to bring these guys in and at least sign one of them. I really don't think. And 68.1 completion percentage allowed for Kendall Fuller last year, which is not great. And 97.7 quarterback rating allowed last year, which is not great either. But comparing these guys to Marshawn, let me look at Marshawn Lattimore's numbers real quick. Because Marshawn, they really need to, his PFF numbers are pretty bad too. Marshawn Lattimore, looking at his stats, his advanced numbers right now, Marshawn is giving up, he gave up 105.4 quarterback rating last year, which was pretty awful. Pretty darn bad. So both those guys gave up better quarterback ratings than 105.4 last year. And I know everyone's going to say the excuse of the hamstring, but he's continuing to do the same thing right now, which is really not far off. He's on pace to do the same thing. He has an 87.4 quarterback rating allowed right now, which is actually not that bad. But he got beat a couple times against Green Bay. He got away with the pass interference against the Giants too. 41.6 PFF grade right now for Marshawn Lattimore. Mikey Sanders still 39.6. John Jones 43.2. Noah I 24.3 PFF grade. Trey Amos 61.6 overall PFF grade. So other than Trey Amos, guys got to step up. They got to step up. Jacoby Myers is a good wide receiver. Dante Thornton's a good receiver. Not yet unproven, but he's very quick. Trey Tucker is quick as well. Jack Betch, the rookie, can hurt you as well. So I would bring in one of those guys, man. I would bring in one of those guys. That's what I would do. So, all right, guys. Health Commanders. Peace. Oh, yeah, the Commanders worked out cornerback Trayvon Mullen. Like, come on now. Like, you're working out Trayvon Mullen. Like, what is Trayvon Mullen going to do? Like, what is he going to do? Bring in somebody who has some experience and has done something in the NFL, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, Trayvon Mullen, he played in 9 games in 2022. and had 1 pass deflection, and that's it. Like look at Stephon Gilmore. Let's see how many pass deflections he had last year. He had 9 pass deflections. He had 13 with Dallas. Like, bring in somebody who's done something at the cornerback. Stop playing around with that position. Stop. Adam Peters does that, and I get it. I get what he's trying to do, but bring in somebody who's done something. I'm not saying Stephon Gilmore and Kendall Fuller are going to be world beaters, but they would be better than bringing in Trayvon Miller. So, all right, you guys. As always, Hello Commanders. Peace.